Joe Zekas from YoChicago.com. I'm in Evanston today. I'm on a block of Gray Street, almost right across the street from Evanston Township High School, and meeting with the team that's transforming half a dozen houses on this block. Please introduce yourselves for me.
I'm Todd Lieberman from Brinshore Development.
Jolene Saul with the City of Evanston.
Beverly Curry, Coldwell Banker.
Nancy Powers, Coldwell Banker.
Bill Smith, Evanston Community Builders.
Christopher Meeks, Housing Opportunity Development Corporation.
I'm David Brent with Brinshore Development.
First thing that strikes me as we're in a house that's under reconstruction is for anybody living in the city, this is a yard to die for here.
It is. What you've got here is the total gut rehabilitation of a home that was purchased out of foreclosure. It was purchased about a year ago, and the project, the development had foundation problems, that had structural problems, and it was a blight on this block. And now when you take a look at it, you can see that it has been totally rehabilitated. It's a beautiful piece of property now, and it'll be a beautiful home to families in the community.
I agree. I'm the first owner through the Live Evanston program. My house is 1704 Gray. Had the same kinds of problems in it before, but now it's a beautiful 5-bedroom home that my wife and I and my 2 children enjoy immensely.
What prompted you to buy in Evanston and in this location?
We were already living in Evanston, and we were looking for something that would suit our needs and give us enough bedrooms and that was spacious enough for us to call home. And we stumbled upon the Live Evanston program and went through all of the procedures, and we came out with a great house at a very affordable price.
Had you been a homeowner before?
No, first time.
First timer?
Absolutely.
It's exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah, I'm Bill Smith again, one of the companies that's doing some of the construction and rehabilitation in this project. And if you have a chance to go through this part of Evanston, you can see that this program is doing a great job in terms of upgrading the housing stock, which certainly is badly needed in portions of there's some portions of Evanston. And so to that extent, it is a great project. On the other hand, though, the reason it's being done is because a lot of folks, in fact, lost their homes through foreclosure, and that's a bad thing. But this program gives a great opportunity to recycle those homes, get them back on the market to some of the folks who may have lost their homes, but other people who are in that same income bracket get a chance to buy back into this community. So to that extent, it's a great program.
So we do have a program where the buyers are income restricted. It's not open to anyone, but some pretty broad limits from what I understand.
Yes. The program stipulates that the buyer's income has to be 120% of the area median income or below, and actually we found that range of income is enabling us to capture lots and lots of buyers. And I have to say, from a sales perspective, we cannot wait to list this house. We listed our first Live Evanston property back in September, and it's been really interesting and gratifying to see the word of mouth enthusiasm for Live Evanston take hold. And now, you know, people literally stop us on the street and ask us, when's the next property coming? It's been great.
When is the next property coming? When's this going to be available?
Well, Powers here would know better than me. Soon, very soon.
Soon.
Yeah, this is Eric Dingle. He's actually the prime subcontractor on this project as well. Maybe you can answer that question. We're going to finish up the last piece of this job.
We should be done in the next week or 2 at the latest. My name is Eric Dingle, best one built, and I'm a lifelong resident of Evanston. And one of the good things about this project is, in addition to recycling these homes and putting them back on the market and improving the area, it's putting a lot of contractors like myself back to work, and which is helpful on many different levels. Work and, in addition, making the neighborhood, improving the neighborhood.
This block of Gray is actually a great example because we've been able to get 4 properties on this block, so you can really see the impact. And there's a few other blocks where we've had anywhere from 2 to 5 properties. And so the impact and the change from before and after will be very noticeable. And even just driving through town, it's hard to not drive through this part of Evanston and not see a Live Evanston or NSP2 project. So the impact is really visible on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, and also there's a lot of excitement about all of these properties. Daily I get emails and phone calls about people driving by saying, how much is that property? I want that home. So we're very excited about all of these properties.
And the other thing that's really exciting from the sales perspective is when people walk into the houses or the condominiums for the first time, you can see the excitement in their eyes. The level of finish is truly surprising and above market standard, and it's really making our job a lot easier.
The other perspective I have when I look around here is, to quote a former president, people I think misunderestimate the location here. A lot of attractions, easy access by public transportation, close to some great parks on the North Shore Channel Trail, and just pretty attractive streets here.
Oh, yeah, amazingly so, yeah.
You know, the City of Evanston had a pretty clear vision of what they want to try to accomplish when we made the application for NSP2. There were 2 targeted census tracts, and those census tracts had been in neighborhoods that had been historically middle income, mostly African American home ownership communities for, I don't know, 70 years, 80 years. And they were experiencing some significant disinvestment over that time. So the goal was to stabilize those homes in this neighborhood, which had been a vital neighborhood with retail and, like you said, access to transportation and good business opportunities for a very long time. What we found and what we were hoping would happen, and the goal of the NSP2 program, is that you stabilize the downward spiral of values so that the other people on the block, if there's 40 houses on the block and 4 or 5 of them go into foreclosure, the appraised values start to drop just because those properties are vacant. And then other people, as they try to sell their homes or they try to refinance their homes, can't do it because properties have been relatively artificially depressed. So what we've done here is put those properties back on the rolls, created a market value for them that's consistent with what's in the neighborhood, which restabilizes the values for everyone else in the neighborhood. And what you'll see if you drive up and down this block is you'll see 3 or 4 other homes that are getting investment that don't relate to the NSP2 program. Our subcontractors are even getting requests to come over and take a look at their basements or their roofs or their exteriors, and you're seeing exactly what the program was set up for, which was reinvestment, stimulating reinvestment and stabilization on a block-by-block basis.
Anyone who purchases a home through the Live Evanston program gets a minimum of $7,000 up to $50,000 in a second mortgage from the city. So there's no interest or payments on that second mortgage as long as a buyer lives in the home. So it's basically, we don't want to call it free money, it is a loan, but it goes a great way in helping people afford the price of the home. So we list the homes at appraised value so we don't negatively impact the market, but then the city steps in to provide additional assistance to make that home affordable to our home buyers. Depending on the size of the mortgage and the type of property, the second mortgage is forgivable over a 5 or 15-year period.
And that creates value and encourages people to keep the neighborhood stable.
Yeah, $50,000 is a pretty serious incentive.
That's a pretty serious incentive. It would be for me. When the project was conceived, the city had some real goals that they wanted to accomplish in addition to the refurbishing of housing and stabilizing the community. So maybe Jolene, you want to talk about, involving Evanston-based contractors?
So it's really easy to see a home go from foreclosure to newly rehabbed, but another one of our goals was economic opportunity for our contractors and our residents. And so we started with the goal that a minimum of 25% of construction contracts would go to either minority, women, or Evanston-based businesses. And we have awarded approximately $5 million of subcontracts to date, and approximately about 70% of that have gone to those categories. As well, there's also a requirement for what's called Section 3 businesses, which are low-income businesses, and about a quarter of that has gone to Section 3 businesses as well. There's also local hiring goals, and we have hired approximately, I think, about 2/3 of new hires have been low-income residents.
And it wasn't like the city just said to us, the developer, just go do this. The city was intimately involved in this. They outreach, they talk to contractors, they explain the program, they administer a lot of things that go on in attracting those folks, and they've changed the rules as they've gotten feedback from contractors to make life easier for them, especially smaller contractors who aren't used to doing multiple jobs or larger jobs. So it's been a real nice partnership.
We have half a dozen homes on this block. How many overall involved in the program?
Our goal is 100 units between the 2 census tracts, and we have acquired or have site control of 90 units to date.
The other census tract is removed from this. It's further south in Evanston?
Yes, southeast Evanston. And a lot of the housing stock there are actually condos on the for sale side, as well as some 2 or 3 flats.
in the beginning of the program, when we would go to buy something that was in foreclosure, we'd be the only one at the table to buy it. Now I think things have changed a little bit, and Todd, you might want to comment on the velocity of activity and who else is making investments in these census tracts.
Sure. Since we began work with the City of Evanston in 2010, we've really seen a change in the marketplace. At the beginning of the job, there were a significant amount of homes that were very dilapidated, that were continually falling into disrepair, homes that were really radioactive in the marketplace and hadn't been really looked at even by a lot of buyers. We acquired a lot of those homes and have dramatically reset the useful life of those homes and put them back into productive use. Since then, there's been more competition in the marketplace. People are seeing that that we're investing in Evanston, whether you're a homeowner or someone buying a house as an investment property. People see that work is going on in Evanston, and because of that, the market's tightened up. What is significant about this program on the for sale side and the rental side is at the end of the day, these beautifully rehabbed homes, which we've reset the useful life of the property for a generation, will be available to people who are within the income limits that Nancy talked about, and will become great residents in the City of Evanston. The program is called Live Evanston Rentals, and on the rental side, and Live Evanston on the for sale side. LiveEvanston.net is the website, and you'll find out all about the new homes that are coming on the marketplace there. For rental properties, the City of Evanston, cityofevanston.org, has a repository of all the homes that are available. And what we've seen is that there's an incredible amount of interest, and the marketplace has truly been positively impacted by this investment.